Hi there, welcome to today's painting tutorial. In this episode, we are going to paint a dragon fruit with acrylic paints. So let's get started and check out the description to get your free guide along with the paints that I'm using, a sketch, and the brushes that I'm going to be using as well. And let's get started here with a size 0 round brush. I'm going to get that brush wet. And I want to start putting in the darkest values. So let's create a dark value of the green. I'm going to take a little bit of black and a little bit of this dark green. And I'm going to start outlining some of these shadows for the green part of the fruit. Come around this way. Okay, so then I'm going to add a shadow to this other area here. Put that along the top. Okay, and then over on this side. And then this one here. Okay, and then let's go down along the bottom. So create a dark shadow for this area. Then over here. And there's a little bit of a root here or a base. So I'm going to put some dark value in that area. Kind of making circular shapes to create the base of the fruit. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse the brush and let's move to the pink color for a dark value for that. So how I'll do that is I will mix some black with this magenta color. See if we can get a really dark shadow color. And then let's put that around this area. And then back in this area. Okay, I can come along the bottom and add this shadow. Then I'll add it over here. Okay, and then we'll add it to this area. I'm just thinking about where the shadow is, and I'm putting that dark value there. It's going to be around this section. Then over in this section, I'm going to come across the top with a dark shadow, and then bring that down along the side. Okay, let's bring a shadow over on this area and over here. And around this area. Okay, and then let's put some over here. I'm just thinking about where these shadows are going to be falling. And we're adding those values in. So we can come over on this section, maybe a little bit over here. And then around this area too. And I'll put a little bit over here. And over here. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse off the brush. So we have our dark values pretty well established. And let's start working on these areas here that are green. And let's start with taking just a straight dark green color. We can work one at a time. on these, almost like leaves or spikes. I'm going to pick up some light green and try to transition that color. Then I'm going to pick up some yellow. That's going to get lighter in value as we go down. Then let's pick up some white and create a really light value there. Okay, so let's do that for this one. So I'll pick up the darker green, add that to the top, and then we'll start getting lighter with this lighter green. Then I'll pick up some yellow and some white right in the center. Okay, and then this one here, so we'll do dark green, and then lighter green, some yellow, and some white. Okay, I'll do that to this one. So I'm going to pick up some light green, and then yellow, then white paint. Okay, and then we'll do that for this area. So we'll put in some dark green, and then the lighter green, then some white. Okay, and then we can work on this one here. Do dark green and some yellow. You're just sort of sticking with that pattern. Dark green and then a lighter green. Okay, I'm going to add a mid-tone green, then some white, and a mid-tone green, and some white. Then add the green that's already on my brush. So we go down here. Okay, we're getting just kind of less detail as we go down. Okay, now we can put some lighter green in there. So I'll take some of this darker green and add some white into it. And then let's start putting that in some of these white spaces that we left, just to give some texture for the root. Okay, so I think we have, let's actually work on this area here. So I'll take dark green, and then I'll take that lighter green, add that in, then some white, and some yellow as well. Okay, and then we have this spike and then this one here. So I'm going to take some dark green and then add lighter green. Pick up some white and feather that down. Okay, and then we have this spike here. We're just trying to get all of these spiked areas painted in. Pick up light green, and then some white. Okay. All right, so I think that looks good for the spiked areas. If you wanted to go back and add some kind of flashes of yellow, you can go back and do that. Just to add some variety of color, some interest, just to make it nice and bright and colorful. And now let's transition to the pink. So I'm gonna take the magenta color and let's start putting that around the outer edge of one of the spikes. Then I'm gonna pick up some red paint and sort of mix that in. Try to go around the spike. Okay, and then I want it to transition into a light pink. So let's actually take another shade of pink. I have this kind of coral pink. Let's add that to the palette. See if we can add that in for a bright, vibrant pink color. Okay, and then let's do this section. So we'll take magenta. Then I'm going to pick up red. And you could even pick up some orange. And then I'll go into the peach. Put that in. Okay, so now let's do this section here. So I'll do my cooler magenta color along the base. I'm going to feather this down, and I have some black that's kind of mixing in, but I think that's going to work out well. Just pick up some lighter pink. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush because I got some of that black on there. So now let's start getting lighter. I might take some orange and mix that in, and then pick up the peach and then feather that along the top and sort of fill in some of the white spaces. Then let's work on this section. So I'll take the cool magenta and go around the outside edge, pick up some orange, and then the peach. Okay, so now let's do this section. Same idea, take the magenta and add that around the outside edge. We'll get warmer with some orange. And then I'll pick up the peach and put that in the center. Okay, and then let's add some magenta right to this area here. Okay, I'm gonna take this, let's actually take magenta and fill in this area. And then I'll do that to this area down here. So we want it to be a little bit darker in this area, a little bit cooler. So I'm going to pick up the magenta. And then I'm going to pick up some white paint and put that in. Same thing on this side. I'll pick up the magenta and then some white paint. Okay, and then down here, I'm gonna add again the magenta. I want it to be a little bit darker, so let's grab some of this darker shadow color that we had mixed previously. And then we can add straight magenta. And maybe a little bit of white. Okay, so then check to see if you have everything filled in. I'm going to add some more pink to this area here. And then maybe over here. Gonna kind of go back and see if there's any whites of the paper that need to be filled in. Make sure all of the areas are filled in that need to be. Okay, so now at this stage, let's add some brighter, lighter colors. And let's switch brushes. I'm going to switch to a size 6 filbert brush. And let's see if we can start putting in some nice highlights. So for that, let's take, actually I think I want some more magenta. So I'm going to take the magenta and some white to get a nice light pink color. Let's see if we can start putting that in. And then I'll pick up white and put that in the center. So we'll take some of this cooler magenta color and then pick up white and feather that in where we want some 3-dimension. Be over here and over here. Just trying to bring back some highlights. Okay, and then I think I will try to smooth out some of these darker values with a mid-tone. I might just go on top of those just to make it a little bit more, just to make that contrast less harsh. Okay, so I think that looks good. And then I'm going to take some of this purple color and let's put that in as sort of another fun highlight. It's going to put it around some of those lighter white highlights. And this will just give us a little bit more variety, a little more interest for the color. That's also a little bit of a muted color as well. And let's pick some of that up, and I could even put it into some of the greenery. Okay, I'm going to mix some white and some of the magenta. And I can try to feather some of that up into some of the green as well. Could be a reflection of light. Okay, so I want this area to actually be dark. So I'll take some black and some green and put that in there. Okay, so let's just do some final highlights. I'll take some white and some yellow paint. And let's start putting that in as a final highlight. Just in some of these areas where the green is. Okay, and then you can add any final details that you want to add and clean up any edges that might need to be cleaned up, like this one here. Can be kind of tricky to get clean edges with acrylic paint. Okay, so also any whites of the paper. Since we didn't do an underpainting, you might want to go back and cover those up as well. Okay, and I think we will call this painting complete. Thank you so much for painting along with me. Like and subscribe for more painting tutorials. Get your free guide in the description below, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!